So I'm coming to you from one of mine and Pam's most favorite places on earth. It's beautiful Shell Beach, California. It's just a couple of miles up the road from world famous Pismo Beach, as they call it, but without the crowds. A place that you can come and surely get away from it all and enjoy what God has created and nature is now providing. It's an absolutely divine spot. It's the place here on this earth that Pam and I requested that when we're both finally gone, we'll spread our ashes together here over the beautiful blue waters of the Pacific. We spent a lot of time at Shell Beach. We lived here more times than we can count. In fact, the old joke became whenever we'd move back, what is this, 10, 12 times? We'd go, I don't know, maybe at least 15 or 20. We brought our kids to these beaches many, many times. And then after the kids grew up and moved away, and we moved away as well, we still came back for vacations and enjoyed the beauty of the beautiful blue Pacific and what Shell Beach had to offer us. I've also made several trips back after losing Pam to heaven almost 4 years ago now. In fact, I've lost count how many times I've come back to reconnect with friends and to reconnect with beautiful Shell Beach, the sights and sounds and the smells that it provides. But on this particular trip, I'm back house sitting for friends. And I brought my job with me. I'm a remote worker, so I can do that. And as I do just about every evening whenever I'm on the Central Coast, if I'm within distance of Shell Beach, a short distance, which I am once again on this trip, I always come up here and I take a walk. I'll take a walk up along what's called the Bluffs Trail, and then I also like to take a walk along the beach. And usually it's a really nice time for me. Great memories. And I can just see Pam and I sitting there on the beach. And then sometimes I visualize the kids when they were small, and they're running up and down the beach, and they take a little dip in the water, and oh, it's so cold, and then they come back out, and then they go back in. Those are great memories. This trip, though, it's been a little different. And I'm kind of questioning myself just a little bit. I'm sure we all do that from time to time. Because on this trip, for the first time that I can remember, as I was down on the beach taking a walk, I just had this wave of sadness come over me. As I could still see faintly in the distance Pam and I sitting there on the beach enjoying the day. I could still imagine the kids being out on the beach as well. But on this particular day, the beach was completely empty. There was nobody out there while I was walking. And then I figured out what it was. It was a reminder of how alone I was. I was completely and totally alone in our favorite place in the world, and I'd never experienced that. There were usually a few people here and there, but not on this day. All I had were my memories. Otherwise, it was just a vast beach of emptiness. Still beautiful, but not as beautiful as it was with people, and especially when it was me and Pam on the beach, and for a time our kids as well. And so for the first time as well, I started to cry. I just felt like crying, and I thought, what the heck? I'm alone on the beach. Nobody's here to see or hear me. And then as I was crying a little bit, thinking about my aloneness and how much I miss Pam, I wondered if her and God could see me. We often have that question, don't we? And I don't know if they did. Because, you know, heaven's supposed to be this incredibly happy, wonderful place, and I'm not sure I'd want them to see me in my sadness. Of course, if you go to your Bible, it says we're to reach out to God when we're sad and ask Him to help us. And you know, there's not a day that goes by that I don't run into somebody who says, oh, we just want you to be happy again. We just want you to be happy. And I'm here to tell you, I want to be happy. And Pam used to always have a quote when she'd say, you have to make a choice to be happy. And I try, but it's still hard. And I'm still sad. And there's times that I'm just tired of trying to be happy. Because, you know, the world doesn't want to hear that we're not always happy. That gets a little messy. And then you have to listen to one another. And you got to hear about troubles. And we just don't want that. We'd rather flip over to TikTok or Instagram and watch a funny video. We don't want to deal with sadness. But the reality is, when you lose the love of your life, you're going to have sadness. And yeah, I've been to the grief share groups. I've talked to counselors. Like you, I've watched countless videos on the internet. And everybody's got a plan for how you can find happiness again. But it's different for everybody. And happiness is one of those things that's kind of elusive for me at times. Oh, I have moments of happiness, but I don't have that deep down joy that I used to have. And I miss that. I'd like to have it back, but I just can't get it. It's kind of like with these videos, I've stopped giving advice. I had too many haters. Not that many. But you know what I'm talking about. People in mean comments. I just got tired of it. So now I just gotta, from time to time, express my feelings. Because I got nobody here to talk to. Because who wants to hear about this anymore? They're over it. But I'm not. So here on Shell Beach today, though, I had memories. But they were bittersweet memories. Hard, bittersweet memories. And now I understand where the bitter portion of that memory comes from.